Hey everyone, thanks for watching tonight. I apologize about having to post at nighttime, especially from within the confines of my vehicle. I know the picture is kind of grainy and it's not very classy, but I did want to post something for you to give you something to look at. I do appreciate you guys watching my videos, so I wanted to just do a little quick tidbit on um, the whole situation with P Diddy, right? The rap mogul in New York that got arrested on like Epstein's related or style of sex trafficking or like sex charges. I'm not sure the ins and outs of it, but yeah, like he got denied $5 million bail. He can't even get out. Like the judge won't even let him out. So they got some evidence on him. It's not looking good for him. So the question is like, what would happen to him when he goes to prison? And the answer to that is I don't know for sure, but more than likely, it'll be what I'll get into here in a second. He's in New York, which means if he gets convicted, he'll do his time in New York State Prison. I have no idea what the get down is out there in New York as far as like how the inmates program. Do they segregate by race? Do they segregate by gang? How does shit run there? I don't know. But I do know enough about human nature and prisoners that someone like that with weird charges like that, who has a lot of money, high profile, will almost certainly be extorted in some way, shape, or form. He'll basically have to pay to stay. And so, what I mean by that, if you're wondering, like, well, pay who? Pay what? Whatever. Whatever inmates are going to be doing the extorting will be the beneficiaries to these payments, whether they tell them to, like, send money to their people via Cash App or put money on their books or buy contraband cell phones or dope or whatever the case may be, right? So all the above. That's what I mean by pay. But like, what if he was here in California? Well, that's where it gets tricky. So if he was in California, and he tried to run mainline GP, the blacks would be on him because here in California the inmates segregate by race. So this would be the blacks' business, right? The brothers. Um, but which faction, I don't know, because Diddy being from New York, out here there's not going to be a New York car. There's Bloods, Crips, and Bay Area. So I don't know which group, or maybe all of them together, would almost certainly press up on this dude and extort him in some way, shape, or form, if at all, if they don't just get rid of him. Now, that being said, if they did try to do that, what would happen on top of that? Now it gets kind of complicated. It gets kind of trickier because if the white boys and or the Mexicans found out that there was a sex offender on the yard, a black guy, because he's black, other races, it's not really their business to get involved. But if it's common knowledge that there's a sex offender that they're letting stay there, they'll make an issue about it. They'll press up on the brothers and be like, hey, with all due respect, our people are tripping. We're going to ask you and your people to get rid of this piece of trash, or we'll do it for you. And if they don't, then they'll kick off a riot. And I've seen that happen before. I mean, it wasn't like a rap mogul that came in, but there was a well-known sex offender that showed up who was black, and the blacks didn't want to get rid of the guy for whatever reason. And so the whites and the Southsiders did it on for them. And then, of course, because they attacked the black guy, the blacks jumped in. It was a big old riot. And I'll do another video on riots some other time. So that's one route. The other route is, and I don't know, New York might have a similar program, but in California there is such thing as like protective custody. They don't call it protective custody in prison; they call it S&Y. Okay, S&Y stands for Sensitive Needs Yard. But what it really is protective custody. It's people that have sensitive needs, like bad paperwork, or they've ratted on someone, or they're gang dropouts, or they can't hack it on the main line, or whatever the case is. So he would more than likely go that route. He would probably request S&Y and go do his time on the protective custody side. But that doesn't mean he'd be safe from inmates, because there's people over there, there's inmates there, and they may as well just as likely try to extort the dude. And so that's what I'm saying. In one way, shape, or form, the dude would probably get extorted and have to pay for his own safety. That would be my educated guess on how that would go. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys so far, and I appreciate the comments you leave. Everyone's been real cool and respectful, and I really appreciate that. You guys have a good Halloween and be safe.